Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the United Talks podcast. Man United just completed the signing of Éderson. We're going to just see, videos and stuff. That's what we're basically waiting for. But we have to also talk about it because obviously Man United are really in a serious, in the market, seriously trying to strike deals for players. And certain things are happening. Éderson solidified, everything is complete. We're just waiting for formal steps like medicals and stuff. I've seen videos of him being in London as well. So with a picture, I don't know, not videos, actually a picture in a comment of him being in London. So we are there to analyze. We dare to kind of bring it to you when we have to, but. United are interested in a few other players. So the question now boils down to who is next. The Athletic is reporting that Jason Wilcox is the most senior figure. So I'm going to start with that before we can talk about like all the other people that Man United are interested in. Jason Wilcox is the most senior figure at Man UFC's football department and bears ultimate responsibility for recruitment. Christopher Vivell effectively heads up United's scouting operations, and he's the key point of contact for agents. Right. Then Vivell played a key role in the pursuit and the signing of Šeško from RB Leipzig. Reporting into Vivell is Kyle Macaulay, United's new head of senior scouting. Formal talks with players, their representatives, and rival clubs are typically led by the director of negotiations, Matt Hargreaves. So that's a system there. That's a proper system, it looks like Man United have when it comes to recruitment and negotiations. I had to bring that up because obviously I just needed to set the base before we get to talking about all the people that Man United are interested in. And I have this report basically by I think it's Manchester Evening News, but you can actually see it on all social media platforms. Yeah. Now, all you need to know about Man United's transfer plans. We'll analyze each and every one. With latest news and rumors. So first and foremost, Manchester United are on the verge of making their first signing of the summer transfer window under Michael Carrick. The club have agreed a deal worth around approximately £38 million with Atalanta to sign Brazilian midfielder Éderson. That one is done. More details to follow. Apart from the more details to follow, we're also going to talk about his player profile. We're going to analyze like everything in between. A lot of people have been talking. A lot of people have been, saying whether, well, maybe negative stuff or positive stuff or whatever the case. But now that he's here, we have to back him and we have to kind of find the positives. Yeah, it's going to take some time to adapt, but we have to break down everything and basically analyze his player profile, and then we will now know whether he is that number 6 that we need, or he's part of a cogwheel, an entire midfield overhaul. I've seen stuff from Fabrizio Romano saying that Manuel Ugarte is also going to leave alongside Casemiro, as he has left already. So these are the things, these are the issues, these are the conversations that we will be having. So yeah. Another one. They are saying Carrick intends to heavily rebuild his midfield options ahead of the club's highly anticipated return to the Champions League. The manager is aiming to sign at least 2 or 3 central midfielders following the expected departure of Casemiro. That one has happened, like I mentioned, and Man United are looking to sign multiple midfielders, and we're going to talk about some of those ones as we've seen on social media. United also complete the signing of teenage midfielder Cristiano Rosco next month. I brought you a video some time back about Cristiano Rosco when we got the Here We Go and everything. So Man United are on the verge of, getting Orozco done next month. The preliminary agreement for the 17-year-old was struck last year, and he will formally make the move when he turns 18, as reported by the Manchester Evening News. Orozco's deal, even Fabrizio Romano talked about it, so basically that deal is done. We're just waiting for him to come. Does he become a first teamer, or he goes to the academy and then build his way up or something? does it help us in the long run? Is it going to be a squad player? Is it going to go on loan? All of this and more we will analyze as we go. Now, the next one on our list is West Ham midfielder. West Ham United midfielder Mateus Fernandes has emerged as a key long-term target for the club. The 21-year-old reportedly prefers a move to Old Trafford over Paris Saint-Germain as West Ham look to sell players following their relegation. Just more on that news, on the Mateus Fernandes news. Man United's latest 60 million ace says yes as transfer for Marcus Rashford, alternative close. Man United's summer transfer window is heating up after Michael Carrick led the team to a Champions League qualification. Having secured their place in next season's Champions League, Manchester United's active summer is already beginning to take shape. Michael Carrick will need to reshape his squad with both arrivals and departures expected, and with the club with the club's tasks including determining the future of Marcus Rashford. So speaking of Rashford, he spent his campaign on loan at Barcelona, yet doubts remain over the Catalan Giants willing to take up their 26 million purchase option. So it's an option, not an obligation. Just as most recently, Rasmus Højlund, recently completed his move to Napoli. That was an obligation to buy, right? The England international is one of several senior stars who could depart Old Trafford over the coming months, with Casemiro, Jadon Sancho already set to leave when their contracts expire, more potentially following. So Casemiro and Jadon Sancho, they're basically done by the end of the month. Like by June 30, their contract is done, but I think they've already left. Casemiro's fellow Brazil international Éderson looks set to be heading to Old Trafford, and that is done. Fernandes, so I'm going to find out how to pronounce his name, but I'm going to say it's Fernandes. Mateus Fernandes says yes, says no's. says okay. Mateus Fernandes says yes to United's move. Manchester United are Manchester United are Mateus Fernandes' first pick for a summer transfer. According to the Eye, the Portuguese international suffered relegation with West Ham United on the final day of the Premier League season, and he was likely to be in demand even if they had survived. Fernandes, who set the Hammers back for 2 million when he arrived from £40 million when he arrived from Southampton a year ago, is anticipated to fetch around 60 million. Paris Saint-Germain have also been linked with the midfielder, though United are reportedly confident of securing the signing, which could leave the midfield set for years to come if he can dovetail well with Kobbie Mainoo. The 21-year-old made his senior international debut in the spring during a friendly against the United States. He replaced United captain Bruno Fernandes as a substitute on the occasion, but was left out of Roberto Martinez's World Cup squad, though meaning he would be I think it meant he would meaning that he would be fresh for the season. So this is just Manchester Evening News reporting. There's so many other outlets talking about the whole Mateus Fernandes deal. Now, Gideon MUFC on X is saying that the transfer machine is in full capacity, running at full capacity. The latest inside scoop is that Mateus Fernandes, this is basically as of today, literally, Mateus Fernandes, the path is clearing since he wasn't called up to Portugal. That is what Manchester Evening News was saying for the World Cup. We're pushing to finalize the deal immediately. Negotiations with West Ham are ongoing to find that perfect common ground. I've been seeing some things from this Gideon MUFC guy, and it's been great. And maybe he's taking a cue from all other people, but it's been spot on. He has 14k followers on X. Passionate Manchester United fan, football enthusiast, living the match day to thrills, transfer buzz, and the Red Devil glory. So, So they're trying to find common grounds for West Ham. And I've seen other outlets stating that we'll come to Marcus Rashford pretty soon. I've seen other outlets, just find out. I've seen other outlets stating that Man United are on the verge. They're on the verge of signing him and all of that. So yeah. 15 minutes ago, the People's Person is saying Mateus Fernandes, Mourinho ready to crush United's dream. So this is from United's People's TV. Yeah. Now I'll get to this and then get to this one. So United People's TV saying Mateus Fernandes, Mourinho ready to crush United dream. Manchester United have already agreed a deal with Atlanta to sign Éderson. Now, after the Brazilian, all eyes are on Mateus Fernandes, who has had no secret of his desire who has made no secret of his desire to move to Old Trafford this summer. West Ham are not making it easy. The Hammers are refusing to lower the asking price despite the relegation from the Premier League. The Portugal international has multiple suitors, and the Championship side will be hoping for a bidding war to drive up his price, a scenario United are actively trying to avoid. What has complicated matters further, according to journalist Ramon Alvarez, is Real Madrid's entry into the race for the 21-year-old. Speaking on his YouTube channel, Alvarez claimed that incoming Los Blancos boss Jose Mourinho is a big fan of his compatriot and is keen to bring him to the Bernabeu should Aurelien Tchouameni depart. So it's a two-way deal. Incidentally, the Frenchman is a target for the Red Devils to replace Casemiro due to the specific skill set needed to offset the loss of the Brazilian international. Now, however, his wages and his desire to stay were seen as a problem, so the latest update will please Ineos. This is especially true because Real Madrid President Florentino Perez has categorically ruled out a sale despite the recent brawl between the France international Federico Valverde. It is well known that the 20-time English League champions are looking, that's Manchester United are looking to sign, that's a whole long thing. So well known that Man United is looking to sign 3 new midfielders to revamp the midfield department, with Manuel Ugarte also set to depart. And that doesn't make me happy or fill me with joy as Manuel Ugarte is leaving. Also, it would also have been a dream for the fan base if co-owners had managed to sign both Mateus Fernandes and Tchouameni to add to Ederson's capture. But if this report is to be believed, United have to prioritize one midfielder, and it will be interesting to see who Ineos are really going for. Also, Man United, like I said, are preparing a bid because we were focusing solely on Mateus Fernandes here. Man United are preparing a bid for West Ham star. This was as of today. Now, the summer transfer window is kicked off. Manchester United to bid, according to journalist Gianluigi Longari of Sport Italia. Manchester United are preparing an offer for Mateus Fernandes that would be submitted in the coming days. Longari underlines that the Premier League giants are not stopping at Éderson and are willing to test West Ham's resolve for their promising midfielder imminently. The Italian journalist, however, does not reveal what United's first proposal for Fernandes would look like. Needless to say, it is going to be significant given the Portugal international is on a long-term contract in East London. The Hammers also signed Fernandes from Southampton in a £38 million deal last summer. As per the Times, they are hoping to fetch somewhat in the region of 80. Other reports said 60. What's his name? Manchester Evening News also said the same. Mateus Fernandes wants Man United. Having said all that, relegated West Ham themselves are in financial predicament. According Accordingly, United should also be able to get their hands on Fernandes for a reasonable fee, as long as there is not a bidding war for the 21-year-old signature. Fernandes is sought after. He's a sought-after midfielder, having impressed with his playmaking abilities from deep, and on top of that, the former Sporting CP gem is a sharp ball winner and a powerful ball carrier. His Premier League stats: minutes per game, 84. He's played 36 appearances. He made 36 appearances. Minutes per game, 84. Touches, 58.9. Key passes, 1.0 per game. Accurate passes, 37.9 per game. Interceptions, 1.0. Tackles, 2.9. Goals and assists, 7. So it is it's going to be interesting how this works. Apart from Mancunians, Arsenal and PSG have also been strongly linked with him. Still, it is believed Fernandes, who idolizes Bruno Fernandes, wants to move to Old Trafford this summer. So, yeah. So that's the Mateus Fernandes aspect of things. Flash score sources also says that West Ham attempt to stand strong as Man United consider Mateus Fernandes bid. West Ham are planning to resist early approaches for Mateus Fernandes as interest in the Portuguese midfielder continues to intensify. Yeah. Basically, what they are trying to say in total is that such a valuation could prove problematic for Manchester United, who are not believed to view him as a 70 million pound deal as a representative strong as representing a strong value in the current market. As a result, there remains a sizable gap between likely asking price and the figure United would ideally like to pay. So that is pretty much it when it comes to Mateus Fernandes. Yeah, so that's out of the way. Let's move on to the next one. The next one on our list we're going to talk about, because it's just basically all about transfers and everything in between. Yeah, one sec. So still following on the trend that we're on, United face a complicated situation regarding Marcus Rashford after his loan spell at Barcelona concluded, who looks set for Man City, while United do not want another loan deal. That is a new one. I've never seen that, so we're going to look through it. Man United make Éderson transfer decision as Man City push ahead with £100 million move. So Man United have moved away. Just the summary of everything is Man United have moved away from Éderson, and Man City have bidded for him, and basically the bid has been rejected by none of us. And I know Marinakis is a very tough guy. So this also talks about all the other news about Man United's interest in other midfielders, but nothing related to Marcus Rashford. That was a clickbait. That was a clickbait. Anyway, let's move to other things. There's no need to waste time on this. Now, Barcelona's separate £69 million signing of Anthony Gordon. So that is where Marcus Rashford's situation comes in. From Newcastle could impact United's plans further than Rashford. The massive deal relieves financial pressure on Newcastle, making it harder for United to sign their midfield target, other midfield targets in Sandro Tonali. Now, yeah, United established a broad short list of alternative midfield targets to reinforce the squad. The list features high-profile names such as Nottingham Forest Éderson, who has also been regularly linked with United, Brighton's Carlos Baleba, and Real Madrid's Aurelian Tchouameni, which I just mentioned earlier. Arsenal are reportedly keen, or have reportedly been offered the chance to sign AC Milan winger Rafa Leao. That's outside our conversation, but that's also a target for Man United. Yeah. Anyway, now beyond the high priority midfield overhaul, United's leadership are actively looking to reinforce multiple positions across the pitch. The club have laid out an extensive plan to recruit a new winger, a fullback, and a centre-back before the new season begins. That's elaborate. I hear we also have an outlay of around £250 million. But let's talk about Sandro Tonali and Lewis Hall, because obviously, because of the sale of Anthony Gordon to Barcelona, there has been talk that Newcastle are comfortable, right? Now, Manchester United are reportedly, as of today, pursuing a deal for Sandro Tonali from Newcastle United as a key part of the midfield overhaul under Michael Carrick as manager. While several sources suggest the Italian midfielder is a top priority, a formal agreement has not yet been reached due to significant gap in valuation between the two. The transfer status and financials of this is that Man United is reportedly aiming to double midfield for a double midfield swoop, already in significant progress, as obviously the deal for Elliot Anderson is done. For Éderson of Atalanta done. However, Tonali deal remains more complex. Asking price, Newcastle are reportedly demanding between 85 to 100 million pounds for the 26-year-old. United's offer, Manchester United is currently hoping for a negotiable package in the region of 60 to 75 million pounds. And the player stance reports indicate that Tonali is open to the move and may have already given his approval, provided the clubs can reach an agreement. Now, Michael Carrick's vision, he might become the pivotal figure of Man United, because he's been a pivotal figure at Newcastle since 2023, since his arrival from AC Milan. Michael Carrick reportedly views Tonali as the perfect addition, right, due to the defensive intelligence, energy, and ability to dictate play from deep, potentially serving as a long-term successor to Casemiro. Everybody is a successor to Casemiro. 25-26 starts in the most recent Premier League season. Tonali made 35 appearances, maintaining a 87% pass completion rate and covering significant ground as a box-to-box presence. So, while United are primary suitor, other major clubs, including Arsenal, Manchester City, and Real Madrid and PSG, have been linked to Tonali. Juventus' interest is reportedly cooling after they failed to qualify for the Champions League, which may give Manchester United an advantage. So, that's pretty much on Sandro Tonali. We're going to talk about Lewis Hall, and just focus on that, and then we can talk about the importance. Now, Manchester United have also identified Lewis Hall as a priority target for the left-back's position, as they look to provide competition and a long-term successor for Luke Shaw. I would say, in my own opinion, that look, we don't need a long-term successor for Luke Shaw when we have one in Harry Hamas. But one might say we need depth, we need squad depth and all of that. And Luke Shaw cannot be trusted when it comes to his injury, how injury prone he is, and everything in between. So you can't just come and say, oh, Luke Shaw is just going to be the one player that Man United will want to go for. We want to keep permanently at the club and everything in between. So, yeah, it will be interesting to see where that leads us, right? So, while United's main focus is a midfield revamp, technical director Jason Wilcox is a major admirer of 21-year-old and is reportedly pushing for the deal. The situation with Lewis Hall is currently a significant talking point in summer transfer window. Newcastle have set a high price tag, with reports suggesting that they want at least £50 million and a potential of up to 70 million for the young defender. So £50 million is not bad. It's an English player. There's most likely a chance that that's United tax. Hall is also reportedly very interested in a move to Old Trafford and may be considering his future at the St. James's Park, after being devastated by his omission from Thomas Tuchel's 2026 England World Cup squad. Newcastle's stance is that Eddie Howe, manager of Newcastle United, remains reluctant to sell, publicly stating that he wants to keep Hall for years to come. However, the club may also consider exits to fund their own summer incomings following a season without European football. With regards to his performance, he made 30 Premier League appearances, contributing 1 goal and 1 assist. That's Luke Shaw numbers. 1 goal, 1 assist. While maintaining an 86% pass accuracy Defensive reliability is recorded 89 clearances and 20 successful tackles, helping the Magpies to 4 clean sheets in his matches. Versatility beyond just left back, he's very technical, and it allows him to operate as a midfielder. A trait that particularly appeals to United's recruitment team. Manchester United's interest is viewed as genuine, but no formal bid have been made or confirmed as of now. So that's pretty much what it is. Now, like I said, Man United are done with Atalanta. Just to summarize everything, Man United are done with Atalanta's Éderson deal complete. Next one is to go for either Tonali or Mateus Fernandes, and then the next one will be to go for Lewis Hall. But I'm seeing that they are trying to attack or approach this from all areas and all places. Anyway, we've been able to try to break it down. There's a whole lot to talk about when it comes to Man United transfers, but we can always talk about this as videos upload. Like, that's why I don't like doing like all of these speculative ones. But the question still boils: who's next? Who's Man United going for? Which deal are we going to complete? I mean, it's good to see that we're attacking the transfer market pretty early, just like we did last year when we got Mateus Cunha, and then we got Mbumo, and then we got BM Sheshko later, and then we got St. Lomans while the season has started. So let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't have to miss anything as it relates to all things Manchester United. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for your comments and everything. Thank you for helping us reach 4,300 subscribers. We'll continue to grow together as a community. And don't forget to follow for more, subscribe, and put your comment in the comment section. Who would you want Man United to sign next? And who are the options for midfield that Man United? Because before I go, I just want to say most of the midfielders I'm seeing are not midfielders that Man United want to sign when it comes to defensive midfield. We are seeing players who are hybrid players, not defensive midfielders. Is that the direction the club is going? Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and turn on the notification bell so you don't have to miss anything. I'll see you on the next one. Take care, goodbye, and God bless.